Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is day 20 of my journey to learn Japanese. This series of live streams is all about documenting my progress at learning Japanese, having started as a complete beginner. And my goal for today is to do a quick test to see how many hiragana and katakana I remember. And then I'm going to continue on with learning some kanji and just like basic Japanese vocabulary. So with that said, let's get started. So I'm on the Lingo Command website here, and if we select writing systems and then go to Japanese writing systems practice, and then we go to basic hiragana, right? That's the first topic I want to cover. We get this table, and on the left here we've got the romaji kind of equivalent for each hiragana character. So romaji is basically just Japanese using the Roman alphabet, or like Romanized alphabet. And on the right here, we've got the characters with audio buttons.
あ、い、う、え、お、
So there you can see how you can hear how they're pronounced. And then if you click here, you
あ、
get this
あ、
you get this little video showing you the correct stroke order for this hiragana character. And there's one for every single hiragana character as well as katakana characters. And for those of you that are not aware, the reason why in the Japanese language they insist on correct stroke order is because it makes your handwriting on average like neater. It makes it faster to write the characters, and also it's just standardized. All like native Japanese people are taught to write it in this order. So I, as a beginner, am gonna, follow their lead. So with all that said, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go here to the quiz section. And if I uncheck swap languages, now the questions are being posed using like the English alphabet. And then I have to like write down the corresponding hiragana character. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to handwrite my answers. So this way I can submit my answer like this, right? I can submit my answer and then compare that and see if that matches. And finally, I'm also going to check random ordering. What this does is it scrambles the order in which the questions are asked. The benefit of this is that it really helps like keep you on your toes, because if you do this question all the time, you get used to this kind of intrinsic natural ordering of the hiragana characters. It's like a, I, u, e, o, ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, sa, shi, su, se, so, and so forth. And so scrambling the order in which the questions are asked is a great way to really test your ability. I'm just going to make one adjustment to the stream settings so that if someone messages, I can actually see. So please bear with me. There we go. So let's get started. So se, and considering that I studied this yesterday, wouldn't it be amazing if I could just get all of them correct, going in order from top to bottom of this quiz, using the correct stroke order, without looking at any hints. So, from what I remember, this is se. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's a pass. So looks like this. Can draw that more neatly. So it's one stroke, like that. But the proportions could be a bit better. There we go. That's more like it. And then ki looks like this. Another match. Shi is very simple, kind of looks like a hook. Chi looks a bit like a 5. It's this. I can draw that a bit better. There we go. And then O looks like this. And then Mi looks like this. But I think this is actually a bit more curved. Let's draw that again. There we go. And then met looks like this. Is that right? So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, I would say that's pretty passable. Yeah. And then has like a diagonal dash as its first stroke. And then this kind of like U-turn shape. Ni looks like that. Is that correct? I don't want to make a mistake here, so I'm just going to try and remember them all. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not. Ni is this one. Nu is the same as met, but with this like little squiggle at the bottom. Na, ni, nu, net. And then net is this. And then no is this is ko, so that's not what we want. That's crazy. How did I forget no? But I know it's definitely not this one. So I'm gonna say that this is ni. N is this one. Ta is very similar to na. But instead of this thing at the bottom, it's this. He is this character. It's one stroke. And then he is this. Te is like that. You is this one. Control that a bit more neatly. Ooh, that was very good. Ha is 1, 2, 3. And then net is 1, 2. We can draw that a bit more neatly. So it's 1, 2. Ho is 1, 2, 3. And then there, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is ho. Sa is kind of like a mirror image of chi, right? So if this is chi, then this is sa, except this is the typed version of sa. If you handwrite it, it's commonly written like this. So let's do that. So it's 1, 2, 3. This dash is a bit wide. We can make this more neat. So it's 1, 2, 3. And then nu is 1, 2, 3. Or well, it's 2 strokes, right? It's 1 and then 2. There we go. Ya is 1, 2, 3. Va is this one. And then no. I'm gonna have to remember this. So let's go again. So this is na. Ni is this one. Nu is this. Ne is this one. And then no. It's I am gonna remember. I'm just gonna go a, I, u, e, o. Didn't really write that well. This is ka. Ki was this. Ku is this one. Ke is this. Let me draw that more neatly. So it's 1, 2, 3. And then ko is this one. This is sa, shi, su. Se is this one. So is this one. And then no is this. There we go. Took me a while. Ma is this one. So it's like that. Ke is this one. So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Correct stroke order as well. Ra kind of looks like a 5. Tsu is that. As for ka, it I struggle a little bit with the proportions of this letter. I'd say that's pretty decent. So this is more round and it's more long than it is. The stroke order was fine. We'll give it a pass. But I guess for next time, I'm gonna remember it's more like this instead of like this. So then fu looks kind of like an upside down question mark with these 2 dashes at the end. Mu is this one. A is, well, everyone knows this one. It's the first one you learn. But I'm not drawing it very well. Could be better, but we'll give that a pass. And then I is this one. Ri is, there are 2 ways to write this, right? If it's typed, sometimes you'll see it like this. Otherwise, you see it like that. Ra is this. Su is this one. I can draw this a bit more neatly. So it's 1 like that. And then e kind of looks like a Z. So you got this kind of diagonal dash. Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. Ku is very simple. It looks like this. And then na is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and then to is that one. And then o, pronounced vo, is or sorry, it's pronounced o and written as vo. It's basically it's, let's take a look. So you start here. So you start off with a horizontal stroke. And you've got this shape. And then you've got this. There we go. Cool. Sometimes you add this little line here, sometimes you don't. It's like a handwriting thing. Kind of like how in English you can write A like that or like that. As for yo, that's 1, 2, like so. Ru is this one, but we can draw that a bit neater. Pretty good. And then mo. Looks like this. And then ro is very similar to ru. Kind of looks like that. So okay, that was a full score. That's pretty decent. Let's go to basic katakana and try this. So that's ta, but we can draw that a bit more neatly. Mi is this one. It's like 3 slanted lines like that. Ru is let's quickly go over this cluster of 5 regarding R. So you have ra, ri, ru, re, and ro. So this is ra. Let me draw that more neatly. Ri is that. Very similar to how it looks in hiragana. Ru, I'm pretty sure is this one. This is re, and then ro is 1, 2, 3. So what we want is this one. So it's like, kind of looks like this. U is that one, right? Because this is ya, this is you, and then that is yo. So it's 1, 2. And then ra, we saw that one earlier when I was going over this cluster 5 for R. But we can draw that a bit neater. So it's 1, 2. And then ho. So this one, the way I remember it is it sort of looks like a home. Right, this is the roof. These are the walls on the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. To be fair though, this doesn't curl up, it sort of curls sideways. Great. And then I always find this kind of funny because it looks like a capital I to me. And then ni. Ni looks like this. The first horizontal stroke is not as wide as the second. Fantastic. And we have na. So na looks like this. Kind of like a cross. Su. Su looks like this. And then nu looks like, so na was this one, ni is this, nu, don't know, and net is my favorite, so net looks like this, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then no is like this slanted dash. And then nu, I think, is this. I'm pretty sure it's that. There we go. So that leaves us now with o. So o, it's 1, 2, 3, like this. Ro is 1, 2. Let's try that more neatly. 1, 2, 3. A is 1, 2. We can draw that a bit more neatly. So it's 1, 1, 2. The way I remember it is you got to leave a bit of space here and leave a bit of space there, right? So let's submit that. Tsu. So tsu. Gotta try and remember the stroke order for this one. So you get these two pretty like steep diagonal lines, and then you've got this stroke at the end. So the stroke order is 1, 2, 3, like this. 1, 2, 3, yeah, that's perfect. And then ke. So this one looks very similar to ku, so this is ku. But the only difference is this extends further to the right. To is very simple. It's 1, 2, like this. And then no is this one. Let's draw that a bit more neatly. There we go. Ha is this one. Chi looks like this. We can draw that a bit more neatly. And then ma. I think it's something like this. And for those of you that have just joined, I'm on the Lingo Command website and I'm just practicing writing some katakana. And so here I've got the 46 katakana as questions. So for example, here, he, if I press here, I get this kind of Photoshop looking component, which I can write my answer. And he, conveniently, is exactly the same in hiragana as it is in katakana, from what I remember. So let's submit our answer and check. Great, so we can say that matches and move on to the next one. Ki also reminds me a bit of the, so in hiragana, ki looks like this. And in katakana, it's basically the same, but you just omit this last part, right? So this is our answer. What I've circled here. So let's clear the board and just draw that neatly. And then I looks like this. Then we go on to shi. So this one, from what I remember, looks very similar to tsu. So in katakana, tsu is like this. This is the first stroke, that's the second, and this is the third. Whilst shi is very similar, except everything is like way less steep, right? So you see that these dashes are way less diagonal, way less steep. And so is this curve. And then the stroke order is also, you start here and you work your way down, whilst here you start over here and kind of go up and to the right. So let's just write down our answer again. So it's 1, 2, 3. And you can see that that's what we've got here in the stroke order diagram as well. This is re. Ko is... What is ko in katakana? So ka, ki, ku, ke, and ko. This is ka. Ki we just saw. Ku is this one. Actually, no, it's not. This is ku. That's ke. As for ko, it's this. It's just like ro, but without that. So this is the first stroke, that's the second, and that's the third stroke for ro. And so if we just omit that first stroke, you then get ko. So then we move on to te. So te is very simple, looks like this. Ya is this one. Mu kind of looks like a triangle. U is 1, 2, 3, but that the strokes were correct and the general shape, but we can draw that so much more neatly. There we go. I always find the stroke order for U in katakana quite non-intuitive, but we make do. This is correct, but I wasn't quite happy with the shape. There we go. I think that's passable. Ri is like this. So you don't have this little dash at the bottom, but no, that's good enough. So is like this. So this is the first, and that's the second stroke. Yeah. And then ka is that, but the strokes were okay, but the general shape could be better. Give that a pass. And then me. What's that in katakana? It's like this. This is the first stroke, that's the second. These strokes are kind of curved though. Just trying to get this looking right. Something like this. There we go. Sa is one, two, three. I'm trying to remember the stroke order though. So I think it's like 1, 2, right? So se in hiragana, which for some reason I always find similar. You start here, that's the second, that's the third. So here, what is the correct stroke order? This is 3. I think you start with a horizontal stroke, then the second, then the third. Thank God. He looks like this in hiragana or katakana, I mean. So let's submit that. And then mo is like this. 1, 2. There we go. Perfect. Yo is 1, 2, 3. Like so. And then fu kind of looks like that. Give that a match. For those of you that have just joined, I'm on the Lingo Command website practicing how to write katakana. Been doing this quiz now. I'm got 5 or so questions left. So, for example, se, what we can do here on the app is we can click here and we get this Photoshop looking component in which we can draw our answer. And so se looks like this. This is the first stroke, and then that's the second. And what we can then do is submit our answer and compare. And so say that's a match. Go on to the next one. Ba is this one, which looks very similar, by the way, to u. So in katakana, this is u. If we just omit that first stroke here and start here, we get wa. And then n, I think it's like a very slanted, not very steep stroke here. So this is the first one. And then the second goes and kind of swoops upwards here. So that's the second stroke. Let's submit our answer and take a look. That's the first, that's the second. Okay, that's correct. And then ne is my favorite katakana, which looks like this. We can draw that a bit more neatly. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then there's a bit of a gap for that fourth one. So we're going to submit our answer, take a look, great. And then finally we've got o. So o is 1, 2, 3, like that. And so that's great. I have now, I would say, successfully remembered o, hiragana, and katakana, or at least the basic 46. And so maybe I'll do like another refresher in like a week's time or something, but I think now would be a perfect time to start studying some vocabulary. So I think what I'll do is I'll you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna place any emphasis on like kanji at the moment. I think what I'd rather do is just like leave that for now. So I've already done some kanji study before, but I think a great thing to start with is to practice with some kanji, or start with hiragana and katakana. So for example, bird is tori, right? So that's, if we look at the handwritten version, or sorry, the typed version, it's gonna look like this. Neko is 1, 2, 3, like that. That's neko. Niwatori is 1, 2, 3. So this is ni, and then wa is that one. And then it's the same thing as before. Let's try and write that more neatly. So it's 1, 2, and then this is the typed version. So let's submit that. So that's a match again. Fantastic. And for those of you that just joined, I'm studying some vocabulary on the Lingo Command website. The questions here are being posed in English. And then when you press here, you can handwrite your answers. I'm writing my answers in hiragana and katakana. So cow is u, shi, like this, in using like the Roman alphabet. But then in hiragana, this is u, and then this is shi. So let's submit our answer and check. So I would say that's a match. Great, we can go on to the next question. Dog is inu. And so I is this, and then nu. What is nu again in this? I think it's 1, 2, 3. So this is 2 strokes. That's the first, that's the second. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's another match. Great. Fish is sakana. So sa is 1, 2. This is the typed version of sa. And then ka is this is ka. And then na is 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Sakana. So let's submit our answer and check. Sakana. Yeah. Horse is uma. So this is u. And then ma is 1, 2, 3. Like that. Fantastic. Then we get pig. So pig is a bit trickier. It is bu ta, but this bu doesn't exist in the like basic hiragana chart. And so what you have to do is instead be like, oh, with dakuten and handakuten, you know that K goes to G, S goes to Z, T goes to D, H goes to B, and H also goes to P. This is if you put handakuten, the circle, and then for these 4, it's when you add the dakuten marks. And so H goes to B, so what we want is hu, right? But hu is in sometimes they say that this character is hu, but it's usually like written as fu. And for those of you that have just joined, I'm on the Lingo Command website, just doing a quiz on some vocabulary for Japanese. So pig is buta. And so what I was saying earlier was that this is fu, and then you have to apply this little 2 dashes at the top, and that turns fu into bu, and then you just need ta. So ta is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is our answer. So let's take a look. Yeah, when it's typed, this is written sometimes as 1 stroke, but that's the same character, so we'll submit that. And then rabbit is usagi. And so we've got a slightly similar situation here. Like u is in the basic 46 characters. That's fine. So sa looks like this when you type it. When it's handwritten, sa, it looks like that. And then gi. So we know when you apply dakuten marks. And if you have any questions, please like drop a comment in the chat or something. But essentially, this is in hiragana, this is ki, right? And then when you apply these 2 marks, the K sound becomes a G. And so this ki becomes a gi. So this is usagi. And when it's typed, these strokes are 1. I'm going for the handwritten version, but just in case you're wondering why it looks a bit different. So this is usagi. Great. And then this one is hitsuji. So we just need to know what is he. So he is this one. We can write that a bit neater. This is hit. This is tsu. And then it was G, right? So it was hit, tsu, G. This is the hiragana for shi. And then if you apply this dakuten mark, this is going to become G. So it's hitsuji. There we go. It's another match. Fantastic. So with animals, I was quite confident, but let's see how I do with body parts. So I'm going to apply random ordering. That kind of scrambles the order in which the questions are asked. So hand in Japanese is te, if I'm not mistaken. Te. And so in hiragana, that's written like this. Leg is ashi, like this. So this is the hiragana for a. And then we've seen this one before. This is shi. So that's our answer, ashi. Stomach is onaka, like this. So what is o in hiragana? It's 1, 2, 3, 3 strokes. Then na is 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. O na. And then ka is 1, 2, 3, like that. O na ka. I would say that's a match again. Fantastic. Mouth is ku chi, if I'm not mistaken. So ku is very simple. It's one stroke like this. And then chi kind of looks like a 5 to me. It's like this. Arm is u de, right? So this is u. And then de is a little bit tricky, right? So this is te. But we know with that de does not come in the 46 basic hiragana sounds. So T goes to D when you apply this mark on top of a hiragana character, starting with a T. And so this te, I think actually these strokes go over here. If you put these two strokes here, the T sound becomes a D sound, so it becomes U de. So let's submit our answer and check. So that U matches, that matches too. Fantastic. Fingers. I think it's like U-B. So first question is, what is U in hiragana? So I think this one always kind of looks like a fish to me. So you can kind of see if I go like that looks like a fish, right? But you put this dash through to get U. And then B, once again, this is not on the 46 basic sounds. So this is he. And then if I apply the Dakuten mark, well, we know H goes to B like this. So that should be our answer, UB, correct. Ears is Mimi. So it's just very simple. It's the same hiragana done twice. Head is Atama. Ta ma. And then feet is ashi again, so it's like that. Eyes is me, which is this. I can write that a bit more neatly. There we go. That is me. And for those of you that have just joined, I'm on the Lingo Command website, just practicing studying some vocabulary. So questions are being posed in English. And if I type here, I have to handwrite my answers. So back is Sunaka. And so S is this hiragana. That's the first, that's the second, and that's the third stroke. And then this is na. Let's try and write these hiragana in the same size so it's a bit neater. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm running out of space, but that's okay because we can zoom out. And then ka is, that's very convenient, this zoom out feature. This is ka. We can draw that a bit more neatly. There we go. S, na, ka, that's a match. Fantastic. And so that's animals and body parts done. So we're going to move over to clothes. So underwear is shitagi. Shitagi, like this. So this is she. Ta is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I think if we go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we add the Dakuten marks on top, so that turns K into G. So this is shitagi, shitagi, shitagi. Great. Scarf. Scarf is skafu, which is a loan word, right? This comes from English, presumably. And so this is written in katakana. So I think it's something like, I think su looks like this. Ka. I think we have to extend the ka sound, so that's like that. And you have this dash here. And if we zoom out, this is fu. So this dash extends the vowel at the end of a katakana. So this is su ka fu. Let's take a look. Yeah, I would say that's a pretty good match. And then this one, there's a lot going on here. So first of all, this is, I think it's something like this. It's like jacket to. So very similar to what it is in English. And so you start off with j, and then ya. But notice that this ja is half-sized, right? So this forms a yun combination, a blended syllable. Then you get ke, which is this katakana. Then we have a sukon, which is like a silent pause. And so that's using tsu, right? It's like basically a half-sized tsu, like that. Let's try and draw that more neatly. And then if I zoom out, so this is jacket, and then to is just this. So we kind of got two concepts going on here. So here we've got a yun combination, and then here we've got a half-sized tsu called sukuon. And the main thing to remember here is, like, first of all, you don't pronounce this. It basically acts like as like a syllable pause. Like, so you have a silence for about like one syllable, and then you place extra emphasis on the consonant that comes after. So this to, the t, to is, you put some more stress on it. So if you say this is jaketo, so it's not jaketo, it's jaketo. You need that pause. So that was a lot of talking, but let's actually see if I'm correct. So I'm putting my answer here in this box to kind of make it clear. Let's take a look. Submit our answer. So this here I've got the sh for hiragana, not katakana, so that's wrong. But this half-sized ya is correct. This ke is correct. The sukon is correct, and so is to. So that was silly. I just put hiragana shi there instead of katakana. So we'll say that it doesn't match, but it was pretty close. Let's try and do better on the next one. So this one is neck tie. So I believe this is ne in katakana, because this is coming from an English word, right? Necktie. So this is going to be in katakana. And then, so it's ne ku. What is ku? So this is ku. And then it's ta. Is that this? No, this is na in katakana. What is ta? I know at least that this is I in katakana. Ta, chi, tsu, te, and to. I'm just trying to jog my memory. What is this ta, right? Without looking. So chi is this. Tsu is this one. Te is that. And then to is this. What is ta in katakana? Obviously I could look, but that's cheating. What is ta? What is ta? What is ta? I remember. It's this. So this is ta. So let's put that in here neatly. And I've written so much. I'm going to start again. So this is, that's ne. Ku is this. Ta is 1, 2, 3. And then this is i. So let's submit our answer. Correct, correct, Correct. Correct. Shoes. Kutsu. 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 So ku. First of all, this is a Japanese word. It's not loaned from anywhere. So this is just going to be hiragana, right? Ku is like this, and then tsu is like that. So that should be okay. Yeah. Fantastic. Hat, very similar, right? It's not a loan word. It's like has Japanese roots. And so there's one tricky part, right? So in hiragana, in the basic 46 characters, there's no bo. So we know that when you add the dakuten mark on top, these two dashes, a H sound becomes a B sound. So what I need to do instead is find the hiragana for ho, which is this one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So with these two little marks on top, we're gonna get bo. Then you need a U. So this is U. Let's draw that more neatly. Bo, and then this is shi. So putting my answer in this box here. Let's take a look. That's a match. That's a match. That's a match. Fantastic. So this one always so the answer is zubon, I believe. But apparently this is a loan word from French, but trousers is pantalon. So I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but in Japanese it's zubon. And we know that zu is not a natural sound in these 46 basic katakana characters. But we do know S goes to Z when you apply dakuten mark. So the question is, what is su, right? And su is this. This is su. And then bo, same issue, right? So we need to know what is ho. And ho is this. And then we apply dakuten on top again. And then n, what is n? N is this. Is that right? Let's take a look. Yeah, perfect. Sweater is seita. I'm not sure about the it's probably like this eromaji, but basically this is se, this extends the vowel sound, and we need ta, like this. Is this an app or website? Hi there. So basically, it's both. It's available on iOS, and it's also available on lingocommand.com. So let me just write that for you. It is both an app and a website. The website is lingocommand.com. The app is only available on iOS for now. It's called Lingo Command. But yeah, essentially this is sweater in Japanese using katakana. So let's take a look. I think yeah, that was correct. I just pressed the wrong button there, but that's okay. Because you have to self-assess your answers. So socks is kind of tricky. I think it's something like kutsuishita. Kutsuishita. So ku is this. This is tsu. Kutsuishita. Kutsuishita. Let's take a look. It's chi, not chi. So this is wrong. But we're pretty close. So let's just remember that. So it was ku, tsu, shi, ta. Great. Sorry, I didn't see your reply. Yeah, so actually I built this myself. I'm the software engineer behind this product. Um, so yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for the for the positive feedback. Um, so skirt is skato. It's so this is su, and then ka is like this. And then now if we zoom out a bit, this is basically the answer. So this here is su, this is ka, and this dash here turns ka into ka, like this. So this vowel sound gets extended, and then this is just to. But this su here, this u is silent. So when you pronounce it, it's kind of like ska to, like this. But yeah, let me clean up all of this additional stuff. Let's check if that's correct. So ska to, yeah, that all matches. Great. So I guess why don't we move on to the next one? So yellow. I think it is kira, like this. So we start off with ki, and then we have this is I, and then ra is this one. By the way, when ki is, when it's typed, this third stroke is just one stroke. When it's handwritten, it's usually written in two parts. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. But let's take a look and see if that's correct. So this is correct. That's correct. So it's not ra, it's ru. Ro, kiro, kiro. It's not interesting. So let's just take a look. Kiro. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna uncheck and recheck random ordering. That kind of scrambles the order in which the questions are asked. And then if I when you want to answer your questions in hiragana and katakana, it gives you the option to handwrite your answers. If you select that option, you can then press here and put in your answer. So I think gray, it's so chairo, I think, is brown, and then you have hairo is gray. So I'm gonna go with hairo. Hairo. I think there are two eyes here. So ha, what is ha? It's this. And we've got the two eyes, and then we have ro. So what is ro in hiragana? How did I forget this? So the letter R comes in like a cluster of 5 in the hiragana tables. So you have ra, ri, ru, re, and ro. Ra is, wait, so this is ri. Ru is, jeez, this is re. Ra is, this is it in katakana. How did I forget this? I remember. Okay, it's all fine. So this is ro, and then this is ru in hiragana. So all we need to do is erase all of this stuff at the bottom. Kind of clean this up a little bit. I just erased everything. That's fine. So this is ha, i, and then ro is this one. So let's take a look. That's a match, that's a match, that's a match, that's a match. So correct? Fantastic. Purple, mu, ra, sa, ki. So this is mu. Ra is this. Let's try and write that in the correct size. So it's 1, 2. we go. Mura. And then sa is 1, 2, 3. Murasa. And then ki, what is ki? So ki is 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Murasaki. Yeah. What is blue? Blue is well, like this. Orange is oranji. Oranji. This is o. And then re is something like this. Gotta think this through, you know. Oranji. 1, 2, 3. I swear that this is re. Let's draw that more neatly. And we zoom out, so it's oren. Then we need the N character, which looks like this. And then we need G. G. So it's 1, 2, 3. Zoom out a bit more. So if I'm not mistaken, this is shi, but when you apply the Dakuten marks on top, that becomes G. So let's undo those last strokes here and take a look. Match, mistake, correct, correct. So I got re wrong. This is indeed re. I think what I have here is nu. I think what we'll do is take just a super quick look at the writing system here. We're going to go to katakana and see. This is net, right? Got net and ret mixed up. That's unfortunate, so that's incorrect. We'll go to the next question. This is midori, right? Midori. So now the question is, what is mi? Mi is, oh, and by the way, this is a Japanese word. Like oranji is a loan word from like orange. And so it's going to be written in katakana, whilst midori is Japanese word. It's not loaned from anywhere. So we just write this in hiragana. So this is mi. And then to. What is to again? So this is to. And then we need to apply these 2 marks. Because we don't have a D sound in the basic 46 hiragana characters. So you need to apply this mark, and that turns a T into a D. So to becomes do. And then we just have ri here. So this is midori. Midori. Okay, so I put these 2 dashes inside instead of on the top. This is actually correct, believe it or not. So ri, when it's typed, it's written like this. When it's handwritten, it's written like that. A little bit like English, you know, you've got 2 ways of writing A. So it's a bit confusing. But red is aka, Japanese word. So we're just gonna write this in hiragana, like that. And then for those of you that have just joined, I'm on the Lingo Command website and I'm just practicing like my vocabulary. So if we tap here, we get this Photoshop looking component in which we can draw our answers. So white, I think it's shiro. So this is shi, and then ro is that one. But the question is there 1 or 2 eyes? I'm gonna say 1. Yes, perfect. Match. Pink is pinku. As you can probably guess, that's a loan word taken from presumably English. So our answer is going to be written in katakana. But the tricky part is there's no P sound in the basic 46 katakana characters. So H goes to P when you apply, not dakuten, so dakuten is these 2 marks. If you add a circle on top, that turns it into a P sound. So this is hi in katakana. Now just add this little circle on top. You get pi, pi. Then this is, let's draw that to be a similar size. That's n, pin. And then this is ku. So let's zoom out a little bit, and I'll put a box around my answer to just make it a little bit neater. So let's take a look. That's a match, that's a match, that's a match. That's all correct. Fantastic. Black is kuro. Kuro. And this is hiragana, right? This is not, it doesn't have any foreign roots. And so ku is like this, and then ro is that right? No, I think it is. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's a match. And then yellow. What is yellow? I had this one earlier, so it's ki, ro. And so this is ki. If you typed, it's often written like this. If you handwrite it, it's often written like that. I think both are acceptable though, from what I know. That's i. I'm just zooming out to give myself a bit more space. And then ro, it's like this. So let's take a look. Yeah, that's a match. You can see here, this is the typed version where that's just written as one stroke. But that's fine. And then now we have brown. So brown is chairo. But this cha sound is actually something called a yung combination. So if you have chi plus ya together, they make a sound called cha. If this ya is half size. So I'm gonna write this down. So chi is this, and then ya, I think it's this. But as you probably noticed, this ya, it's very small. Because it's half size, that indicates that this, the letter, the hiragana before it, forms this thing called a yung combination. So chi plus half-sized ya forms cha. So we have cha, and then this is I. Let's zoom out a bit, and then we just need ro, which is one stroke. So let's take a look. That's a match, that's a match, that's a match. It's all a match. Fantastic. And so it's not bad. Oh, I am the worst with this one. I am very bad at this. God, days of the week. What I might do is take a moment to study this in Romaji to start with. So let's zoom in a bit. So let's do them in the normal ordering. So we're gonna uncheck random ordering. So now it's Monday through Sunday. So first comes Getsuyobi. Okay, so everything ends in yobi. Getsuyobi, Kayobi, Suyobi, Mokyobi, Kinyobi, Toyobi, Nichiyobi. I studied this a while ago, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna jump straight in. I'm gonna swap the languages. Apply random ordering, because otherwise it's just gonna be Monday through Sunday in standard order. Let's try. Is this Thursday? No. Suyobi. Is that Tuesday? Wrong again. Getsuyobi is Monday. Kinyobi is Friday. Kayobi is Tuesday. Nichiyobi is Wednesday. Mokuyobi Thursday. So let's try that again. Let's refresh. I'm gonna try that again. Sunday, Friday, Tuesday, Nichiyobi is that Tuesday? No, it's Sunday. Getsuyobi, Is that Monday? Mokuyobi, is that Tuesday? That's Thursday. And then what is this then? That's Saturday. Okay, I'm doing very poorly on this. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start with the first 4 days of the week. I'm going to hide the remaining words, and I'm just gonna swap the languages, apply random ordering until I get these first right. This is Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday. Oh, so then this must be Tuesday. Maybe what would actually help as well, now that I think about it, is imagine if I just know how to say them in order. So I'm gonna undo random ordering. So it's Getsuyobi, Kayobi, Suyobi, Mokyobi, Kinyobi, Doyobi, Nichiyobi. So I have Nichiyobi at the end. We start with Getsuyobi, Getsuyobi, Makayobi, Suyobi, Mokyobi, Kinyobi, Doyobi. Let's try this again. So I'm going to swap the languages, apply random ordering. Tuesday? Nichiyobi was at the end, so it's got to be Sunday. Getsuyobi is the first one. So this is Tuesday. Is this Saturday? Kinyobi is Friday. Suyobi is Wednesday. Wednesday. Okay, I'm gonna uncheck and recheck random ordering. I'm gonna go again. So Nichiyobi was the one at the end, so it's Sunday. Getsuyobi was the first one, it's Monday. So it's Getsuyobi, Mokuyobi. Oh no, I keep getting this wrong. Go again. Getsuyobi is Monday. Kayobi is Tuesday. Suyobi is Wednesday. Mokuyobi is Thursday. Kinyobi is Friday. Nichiyobi is Sunday. And that one's Saturday. Okay, let's try that one more time. Getsuyobi is Monday. Mokuyobi is Thursday. Kinyobi is Friday. Suyobi is Wednesday. Kayobi is Thursday. Nichiyobi is Sunday. And then this is Saturday. I think I'm gonna try and get like ace this one, and then I'll probably call it a day. So let's try and lock in and get this wrapped up. So Getsuyobi is Monday. Doyobi is Saturday. Kayobi is Thursday. No, it's not. It's Tuesday. Mokuyobi is Thursday. Nichiyobi is Sunday. Suyo Wednesday. Kinyobi is Friday. That was quite tricky. What if I might call it here for today and then continue studying on the next live stream. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the live stream, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. That would really not only help me continue making live streams like this, but it would also really support me in continuing to work on lingocommand.com. That's the website we're using here, as well as the accompanying iOS app, because I'm the software engineer behind these products, and I'm kind of using it to teach myself Japanese as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next live stream. Thank you.